How's it going, everyone? Welcome to my channel and welcome to another Star Wars Jedi Survivor video. Now today's video took me quite some time to make because in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys some of the biggest secrets that you can find in Jedi Survivor. And trust me, a lot of these secrets you don't want to miss because they give you some of the coolest cosmetics that you can find in the entire game. So at any point, if you guys enjoyed this video, then please smash that thumbs up button. It's greatly appreciated. And then consider subscribing if you're new here. That way you guys don't miss out on any future Jedi Survivor videos. So jumping into the first super rare cosmetic item that you can find, it's the Santari Khri lightsaber hilt. So what you're going to want to do is go to Kobo, and as you can see, it's not too far from the cantina. It is found over in the Untamed Downs location. Now you're going to want to run over here to this location and activate this little terminal with BD1, and then one of the explosive droids is going to pop out from the ground, and you're going to want to make him follow you for quite some ways. Now do be careful because there are quite a number of different patrols that go through this area. There's normally some battle droids or some stormtroopers, so either clear the way out ahead of time or just try to run past them. But what you want to do is make the ball follow you over to this cave entrance, and then you want the ball to follow you clear inside of the cave. Now once you get into the cave, make sure the cave is cleared out of all enemies, and then you're going to want to force pick up the droid and then throw it at the wall. And then once the wall is destroyed, you will come across a Force Echo and a chest, and inside the chest you will get the Santari Khri lightsaber hilt. Now this is one of my favorite lightsabers in the game. I think it just looks absolutely sexy. I love the old antique look to it. It came from the High Republic era, so it's definitely an old lightsaber, and I think it just looks really sexy, especially in combination with some of the other lightsaber parts, and this is definitely one of them that you're not going to want to miss. So the next secret item on our list is the Quickdraw pistol. Now this can be found on Kobo, and luckily for you, it's just right outside of the cantina. So to get this, you have to make it far enough in the main story that you've learned how to do the Force Slam, and you know how to force open doors. You're going to want to run over here into the back and force open this giant door, and then you're going to want to hop down into this little puzzle area. All you have to do is take the orb and put it to where it's supposed to go, and it's going to shoot out this big beam of light leading out of the cave exit. And then all you have to do is take BD1 and make yourself a trail leading over to this shack building. Once you do that, the building will unlock, and then inside you will find a chest that will have the quick draw pistol. Now ever since I discovered this pistol, this has been my go-to for my entire playthrough. I just love the look of this blaster. I think it looks absolutely sexy, and you're definitely not going to want to miss out on getting this blaster. So the next collectible is a pretty difficult one to get, but it's the Poncho. Yes, the Ponchos have made a return in Jedi Survivor. It was basically a meme back in Jedi Fallen Order that all you could wear is a poncho, so the developers added it in the game as a bit of an Easter egg, because to get the poncho, it's extremely difficult. We are still on the planet Kobo, and luckily it's not too far from the cantina either. It's just a little bit south down at Fort Callan, I think is how you pronounce it. And once you get to that meditation point, what you're going to want to do is jump up here into this hole, run across the bridge, take out the battle droids, and then you're going to drop down into this hole that opens up into the floor. Now unfortunately down here is the spawn of Ogdo, which is one of the most annoying bosses in the game in my opinion. This guy has multiple one-shot kill abilities, especially if you're playing on some of the harder difficulties. This boss fight took me a number of different tries, and I even gave up and just lowered the difficulty so I could kill him and just get it over with, because after the 15th attempt I just had enough of dealing with this guy. So once you take out the spawn of Ogdo, which in itself is an Easter egg, in the back of his cave he was guarding a chest, and when you open it up it will unlock the poncho set. Now this unlocks the poncho and multiple different collar schemes for it, so for some reason you want to go back to wearing ponchos just like in Jedi Fallen Order, you now have the option to do so, but be prepared because it's going to be a pretty rough battle. So the next outfit in the game is one that you're definitely not going to want to miss, and that's because it's the Jedi Robe. Now luckily the Jedi Robes aren't too hard to find. They're actually on the path while you're completing the main story. The Jedi Robes can be found on the planet Jedha. Now they are found on the Trailhead Pantheon region, and you're going to find them right outside of one of the meditation points. Now, as you're continuing on through the story, you're going to want to come into this cave entrance, and there's going to be 2 stormtroopers. Kill both of the stormtroopers and then run up the stairs. And then instead of continuing forward, you're going to want to wall run and then jump back here in this little slot behind you, and then open up this chest and you will find the Jedi Robes. Now, the Jedi Robes come in a number of different color options. Now, unfortunately, these Jedi Robes don't look like Qui-Gon or Obi-Wan or any of the iconic Jedi. This is like an older Jedi outfit, but it still definitely looks pretty cool, and I know a lot of you guys aren't going to want to miss it. So next up isn't exactly a legendary cosmetic, but it's one of my favorite outfits in the entire game, so I'm going to include it in this video, and it's the Commander set. Now, you can find the Commander jacket over on Jedha. It's just on top of some rocks. It's over in the arid flats, and it's going to be on top of some rock formations. It's not too far outside of the hangar location where you spawn, so it's not going to be too difficult to find. And then to find the Commander pants, they are also found on Jedha, and they're not too far from the Mantis. They are also over in the arid flats, and they're going to be pretty hard to miss if you're continuing on the main story, because at some point you're going to unlock a shortcut that takes you back to the meditation point that is really close to these pants. But in my opinion, I think the Commander set is one of the coolest looking outfits, and it's one of the outfits I was rocking for the longest time. And then the next cosmetic I want to show you is one that could be very easily overlooked. It's kind of hidden in plain sight, but once you progress far enough in the story, there's a pretty major event that happens on Jedha. I'm not going to get into any spoilers or anything, but you're definitely going to know it when it happens. And then what you want to do is, before you get onto the Mantis and leave, make sure you go exploring a little bit, because right over here around the corner is a new chest that just appeared, and this is where you can get the Cere Junda lightsaber to add to your collection. So the final secret location that I want to show you guys in today's video is a bit of a doozy. It's going to take you quite some time to get. It took me about a half an hour to get these items, but if you take the time to complete this giant puzzle on Jedha, you're going to get the Cordova lightsaber, 3 new perk slots, which is a huge help to upgrading your character, and a complete BD1 outfit. So this giant puzzle is going to take you quite some time, because there's 4 different locations that you're going to have to visit. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go to the Wayfinder's Tomb. This is basically in the middle of Jedha. It's pretty hard to miss. It's not too far away from the hangar, and it's found over in the arid flats. And then once you make your way to the tomb, you're going to notice that there's a giant door at the top of it that's currently locked. Now, if you look off into the distance, you're going to notice 3 separate temples across from each of the giant pillars. Now, this is where the tricky part comes in, because you're going to have to go visit each of the 3 temples, and you have to complete a number of different puzzles. Now, to complete this part, though, you're going to have progressed far enough into the main story that you know how to grapple onto these things floating in the air. So if you don't know how to do that yet, go play some of the main story a little bit, and then once you have that ability, come back to this area. So once you make your way here, there's going to be a number of different ball puzzles. They're not too hard to figure out. You basically just have to force pull and force push the balls into the correct order to get the ball to go to the very top of the temple. And then once you make your way to the top, you want to force push the final ball, and then the floor is going to open up, and it's going to give you 1 perk point. Now, unfortunately, you're going to have to do this 2 more times to complete the puzzle. You want to go to both of the other temples, but luckily one of the temples has an additional hidden secret. If you make your way over to the right side of the temple, you'll see one of those floating things in the air that you can grapple onto. You're going to want to grapple onto it and launch yourself over to the right side of the cliff. Here you will find a secret chest, and when you open it up, it will give you the complete industrial set for BD1, which I personally think looks really cool, and I equipped it right away, and I've been using it on BD1 ever since. So once you clear all 3 of the temples, what you have to do now is make your way back to the middle tomb, and now you can step on the floor and it activates an elevator. Down here you will find a chest that will give you the Cordova lightsaber, which is absolutely awesome. It's one of my favorites in the game. It looks really, really cool. But that's not all. If you go over here and hack this terminal, it will upgrade your map to show you all the treasures on your mini-map. This will show you the location of unfound relics, shards, Jedi scrolls, and data discs that you can take to vendors and unlock different cosmetics. So it's definitely a longer mission. Like I said, it took me a little over a half an hour to complete it, but it's definitely worth it to get the lightsaber, the map upgrade, the 3 perk points, and the skin for BD1. So that is going to do it for some of the secret locations that you can find in Jedi Survivor. If you guys enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up. Like I said, it took quite some time to make this, so there's still quite a few secrets out there. So if you guys enjoyed this video, then I might make a part 2. And then if you guys want some tips and tricks for Jedi Survivor, I've made 2 different tips and tricks videos. So if you guys want some combat tips, then be sure to check out my previous video. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, and that is going to do it for me, everyone, and I will talk to you all in the next video.